Hello, hello. I don't know if anybody's here. Can't really see anything. But I'm Erin. I'm trying to see. This is our first time doing a live event. So we're trying to figure it out. Pepper is right here. So sorry. There we go. Okay, I see some people watching. I see Heather. Hey Heather, how are you doing? Stay inside. There we go. Pepper's joining us. This is my dog Pepper. I'm just gonna give some people a chance to get connected to the video. But if you're here, give me a wave. I see that we have 4 people watching. Woo, crazy. There we go. Hi Brandy. But Pepper's gonna be joining us and being our little demo dog for the crate. She's gonna be representing all of our dogs. All right, it's looking like it's starting to fill up. There we go. Just making sure that Mr. McDonald is here. I wanna make sure that he's with us. Trying to, yep, nothing yet. Well, we might go ahead and get started. I'm sure Aaron will show up shortly if he is not already here. I can't see who's all here right now. But welcome to our first Facebook Live event. It's gonna be a little rough, so I apologize. And I don't know if Pepper's gonna be the greatest participant. We're gonna see. Today, our topic is gonna be talking about kennels. Why crates are important, why we are a big fan of kennels, and the reason that we chose this topic is a few months ago we sent out a request for people to ask us any question that they might have about dogs in general, and we did get a question about crates and why crates are important, and we really like that topic because everybody during COVID decided to get a dog. Or a good majority of people did. And during that time, everybody was home. And now they're starting to go back to work and realizing that their dogs have separation anxiety. So we wanted to go over kennels and why it's important to start training dogs to be okay with being in a crate and all the benefits of it. So we're gonna just dive right in. And then there's gonna be a Q&A session about whatever questions you may have. I'm gonna be taking some of them at the end. Aaron McDonald's gonna be writing and taking questions. So even if I don't read your question, go ahead and ask it anyway. And Aaron McDonald's gonna be answering in the feed. So he'll be typing stuff out. So, benefits of kennels. First off, they're so important because you have a brand new dog, or even if it isn't a new dog, it keeps your dog safe. There are so many things that a dog can get into, ingesting different things around the house. You have chemicals all over your home. And when you get a brand new dog in a home, or a younger dog in the home, or a dog with anxiety, they can start to express their anxiety or misbehavior through destroying things. And if they find the wrong thing to destroy, it can be very dangerous. So we find that putting dogs in kennels gives you peace of mind, not having to worry that your dog's gonna get into something that's really dangerous. Also, another benefit is it keeps your house safe. I cannot tell you how many times I've gone into homes and they have pointed out the hole in the wall, or the baseboards getting all chewed up. And that all typically will happen either behind the owner's back or while they're gone. They think, oh, my dog's been here for a month, it's super chill. I'm gonna go ahead and let the dog wander around. And that's probably not a great idea. It's gonna get into things, and just keep in mind, there's about a 2-week, almost upwards of 2 months of an adjustment period with a dog in a new home. So you might think that the dog's fine, leave them out for a little bit, and then things go south really, really fast. So everybody that kennels their dog, though, they start to wonder, how long is too long? How long should you keep a dog in a kennel? And we always tell people in a 24-hour period, you want a minimum of 14 hours. What the heck? Oh, okay. She's fine. She's just stretching. But you don't want any less than 14 hours in a kennel a day. That's for a younger dog. And the reason being is they need 14 hours of REM sleep every day. So if you have a dog that is running around the house and you leave, it's probably thinking that it's in charge of keeping the house safe. So instead of sleeping all day, like most people think that their dogs do, they're actually looking around. You can see signs of it if you have little nose prints all over your window, if the dog barks at everything that walks by. He starts to think, or she starts to think, that she's in charge of keeping this house safe. So during that entire time where you're at work, your dog's not sleeping, getting that nice deep REM sleep that we need. We've all been sleep deprived. We all know how much fun that is. So we've actually fixed cases simply by getting the dog used to being in a kennel and the dog getting the necessary amount of sleep that it needs. So minimum 14 hours a day. That includes overnight. Maximum of 18, 20 hours. 20 is pretty high, but 18 is about the highest you want to go. And you don't want to go longer than 8 hours at a time. Now, that could be a little different if you have a puppy. We say kind of the golden rule is for every month of age is the amount of hours that they can go without needing a potty break. So for example, if you have a 4-month-old dog, you can go about 4 hours before it needs a potty break. But if you have an adult, you don't want to go longer than 8, 9 hours in a kennel or needing a potty break. All right, but everybody feels guilty about putting their dog in a kennel. The American way is saying that you are cruel if you crate your dog. That is not the case. It's like saying you're cruel for putting your baby in a crib. People would laugh at that and kind of roll their eyes because it keeps your baby safe. It's the exact same thing. It keeps your dog safe. The kennel or the crate should be like their bedroom. It should be their safe space. So when Pepper and I are hanging out around the house, sometimes she'll just come in here and take a nap because it's her safe space. If she doesn't want a bath, she'll run in here and go in her crate because it's her safe space. We want the dog to know that the crate is their safe space. So it's the exact same thing. So don't feel guilty about putting a dog in a kennel. It also helps with anxiety, separation anxiety, which is what we talked about at the very beginning. All these people, if you're new to us and just joining us, a lot of people got dogs over this COVID period, and dogs, a lot of them are having separation anxiety. The crate helps dogs with separation anxiety feel safe. The more space you give a dog, the more likely they're going to have anxiety. It's similar to if you see a dog starting to pace around the house, it's their anxiety starting to flare up. If you leave, they're going to just pace, and then when they're done pacing, they're going to start to chew. Chewing is also an expression of separation anxiety. Hey, Nikki! I see Nikki's joined us. But we don't want them pacing. We don't want them chewing while we're gone. We want them sleeping. So by giving them a kennel, giving them less space, it gives them less decisions that they have to make, and they can relax. So you want to create that safe space so you don't get a dog with separation anxiety. But now I know I'm going to hear the argument, well, my dog cries in the crate. My dog will destroy a crate. The reason that dogs cry in crates, the reason that we have those phobias, is because there's this perceived image of abandonment. So when a dog's in a crate, at the beginning, they feel like they're getting abandoned. That's what the anxiety is coming from. There's ways to fix that though. You don't have to make your dog suffer through and make them feel like they're being abandoned. The way that you make them feel safer is, the problem is crates are barriers. Crates are physical, so barriers are physical. Whereas a boundary, which makes a dog feel safe, is mental. You create the boundary as the owner. And we want the dog to learn that the crate is not actually what keeps the dog here. So you can see that Pepper, who's been joining us this entire time, this door is wide open. And if I were to walk out of this room, she would stay, hopefully. But I practiced it earlier. I got her little peanut butter ball. which we'll talk about here in a second. And I went and got that, left her, and she stayed in the crate because she has been taught that you do not exit this crate without permission. And that's that boundary we're talking about. That's what creates that sense of security for a dog. You want to create that feeling of security. So even when you're gone, you're not. It's just like a kid when you have a little toddler and you leave and they cry and they cry, and then as they get older, they realize, oh, well, you're going to come back. I'm fine. That's what we want to create with the dog. Look at her. She's already probing the boundary right here. Her nose is starting to sneak on out. If you have that happen, little door shut, open it back up. Now this is an unusual situation. I don't usually just sit and chat in front of the crate while Pepper sits here. But a nice way to practice this, I actually work out in this room and I make her sit there because I don't want to be that person with the video that has the dog sniffing all over them while I'm trying to work out. So it's a really good way to practice having your dog in the crate, door wide open, with you around with a lot of distractions. So tips and tricks, some stuff that you guys can use if you have a new dog in your home or a dog that has separation anxiety in the crate. We're really big on symptom management at 3D Dog. We are good with helping you guys get through the tough times and giving you guys the foundation so you don't need to manage the symptoms anymore. The symptoms are just coming from that anxiety, but some ways to help you get through. One thing are the Kongs. I will freeze these suckers, put a little peanut butter inside, so Pepper already cleaned hers out, but I'll throw these in the fridge or in the freezer, and I'll freeze a couple of them. And anytime I leave, and I don't have to do this anymore, but at the beginning, anytime I would leave, I would give her a little Kong, and she'll just work on that. She loves her Kongs. But you can do frozen Kongs with peanut butter or different other dog-safe materials. I have a few clients that have peanut allergies. There's a lot of things that you can put in a Kong and freeze it. Another one is music. Pepper was actually a rescue off the streets. She lived on the streets for about a year and then lived in a kennel for about 6 months. So she was used to having a lot of sound, no structure, and when I would leave her alone, if it was completely silent, it used to bother her a lot. So putting on a little bit of classical music, especially if you have a dog that came from a rescue situation, that can sometimes help take the edge off. Also a little bit of CBD oil. That's helpful. That helped out Pepper just in her first few months until we got it under control, all the anxiety under control. And lastly, I've heard of a lot of people throwing a t-shirt in that smells like you. That can sometimes help. But yeah, that's kind of my tips and tricks for helping get through the symptom issues. Also, feed your dog in the crate. Make it its fun spot so it learns that good things happen in the crate. And another thing is just working on them not exiting without permission. Use that door. Use the door to make sure that they don't come sneaking out. And what you do is you start off by opening that door, and every time they try to leave, you just shut the door. And over time, you get further and further away. You want to create that sight picture of you guys leaving and the dog staying. Well, I hope this was helpful. I didn't see a lot of comments come in, but I'm assuming it's because you guys were all intently listening. But if you guys have any questions, you can shout them out now. If not, or if you think of something later, throw it on the support group. We'll be happy to answer anything that you guys have. But I guess that's all for me. And like I said, thank you for following us. Thank you for being part of our family. And I hope you have a great rest of the evening. And I'm going to try and close this because I'm not really sure how to do it. Okay. Bye, guys.